So that brings us to the question of whether in an attorney state, if you can actually be a notary loan signing agent. The short answer is yes. Hey, what's going on guys? Victor Chambers here, back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about what is an attorney state and what is an escrow state, and really try to dissect and break down my perspective on whether you can be successful as a notary loan signing agent in an attorney state. I get this question almost every day from various people, and so I wanted to give my perspective on it. And I think my perspective is not necessarily unique, but I think interesting as a licensed real estate agent in New Jersey, where people commonly believe New Jersey is an attorney state. And just to kind of give you a bit of my view, I won't really say whether New Jersey is an attorney state or not, because when you ask different people have various responses to that question. Some people will say Northern New Jersey is attorney and Southern New Jersey is not attorney, or attorneys aren't used. I, as a real estate professional, work with buyers and sellers who obviously use attorneys in real estate transactions to represent them and to represent their interests. However, as an investor, I've also done transactions where real estate attorneys were not used at all. But I have some notes here, and I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what is the difference between an attorney state and an escrow state. In an escrow state, a escrow company, sometimes a title company, typically directs or quarterbacks a real estate transaction, whether it be a buy or a purchase or a refinance or whatever the kind of transaction is. An escrow company or title company typically will quarterback the transaction. In attorney states, however, attorneys will serve that role and that function of quarterbacking the transaction. The escrow company or the title company is typically a neutral third party, so they don't represent the interests of the buyer, the seller, the lender. They don't represent anyone's interest in particular. They're a neutral third party, whereas attorneys in real estate transactions typically represent someone's interest, whether that be the lender, the buyer, the seller, or what have you. One of the responsibilities of a escrow company or title company in an escrow state is to outsource various components of the closing process. And one of those components is actually having a notary or loan signing agent execute the closing. However, in an attorney state, the attorney is acting as the person that actually facilitates the closing. That means the attorney is doing all the heavy lifting. They're using their trust accounts or escrow accounts for the transfer of funds from party to party, and so on. The attorney is also best suited to walk the buyer, seller, borrower, or whoever through the actual loan documentation. And why this is important, especially in attorney states, because lending practices vary slightly from state to state, and the implications of signing a mortgage vary slightly from state to state. For example, what if the borrower can't pay the mortgage? What is the foreclosure process, and all those sorts of things? And so, many times in attorney states, attorneys are involved in making sure the borrower or the signer understands what their rights and responsibilities are in signing documents. A notary or loan signing agent typically isn't best positioned to offer that kind of legal advice or that type of guidance. That's not really the role of the notary or loan signing agent. So that brings us to the question of whether in an attorney state, if you can actually be a notary loan signing agent. The short answer is yes. However, that may mean that you may be limited in being able to perform signings for properties that are in that state. One of the overarching pieces of advice I have to give you here is that it's important to familiarize yourself with your notary laws, your Secretary of State, your lending practices in your state, so that you don't put yourself in a position where you're performing a signing that you shouldn't be performing. Now, as I said, in an attorney state, you may be limited in being able to perform signings for properties in that state. However, not everyone that lives in Georgia is signing for properties in Georgia. There are people that live in Georgia, for example, that are buying investment properties in Florida or Vermont or in some other state that might be an escrow state. So it's important to understand that there may be signing opportunities in an attorney state to do loan closings for properties that are in other non-attorney states or in other escrow states. One of the other pieces of advice that I'll give you here that you'll commonly hear from many notary loan signing agents is that it's important for you, whether you're new and just starting out or you're already in the business, that you should be signed up with as many signing services as you can, no matter what state you're in, no matter if it's an attorney state or escrow state or what have you, because that way you'll receive the most opportunity from these signing services to be able to perform loan closings as a notary loan signing agent. One last note about attorney states is that some attorney states simply require an attorney to be present. However, there could be a notary loan signing agent that's walking the borrower through signing loan documents. But again, it's important for you to check with your state to see which rules apply in your specific state. In the description below, I'll link a resource to you to the NNA where you can look at specifics of this from state to state. Now, can you be successful in an attorney state? Well, I'm in New Jersey and I would say that I've been fairly successful so far. I'll tell you, there's no shortage whatsoever of signing opportunities. Now, will the volume be higher in escrow states? I would say absolutely, because you don't have the barrier of attorneys having to be involved necessarily. Again, I will say check with your Secretary of State, check with local attorneys, check with professional counsel and other network groups that are specific to your state for notaries and loan signing agents. I'll also provide another link in the description below from First American Title where you'll be able to see whether or not your state is in fact an attorney state. Now, I conclude this video by saying again, it's important to do your own research to understand what the rules and policies are for your state, what you can and cannot do as a notary loan signing agent, but to not allow that to become an excuse or a stumbling block for you to get started. It's important for you to do your research, and it's also very important for you to network and connect with other notaries, other loan signing agents in your state to understand how you can be successful and what you can do specifically in your state if you're actually interested in building a notary business or a loan signing agent business. So I hope this has been helpful to you and has given you some perspective on whether you can be successful as a notary loan signing agent in an attorney state versus an escrow state. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I release more content. Again, hope this has been helpful. Really appreciate all of you that have joined me on this journey, and I'll see you in the next video.